Celeste has 30 achievements for 1,000 gamer score, and is one of the most difficult games I've ever beaten. But despite that, according to TrueAchievements.com, it only takes 8 to 10 hours to 100%. That's true, and also a shame, because beating this game should be the crowning jewel on someone's 100% list. And if you do it legitimately, it will be. As you can guess, I didn't do that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. To 100% this game, I'll need to get to the top of the mountain, which is just beating the game, collect every strawberry, which are either hidden or at the end of highly difficult platforming segments, collect every crystal heart, which are in every chapter but are well hidden, and beat the B and C sides of each chapter, which are basically challenge levels. I started my journey February 7th, 2018. I made my way through the first chapter for the Forsaken achievement. I found my first cassette in Chapter 2, which unlocks the B-side for that chapter, and another achievement. After that, I grabbed a few more strawberries for my 30th and the Strawberry Badge achievement. Then I escaped Goth Madeline and finished the second chapter, which was another achievement on the board. Up next was Chapter 2's B-side, which, like I said, is basically a challenge level. This was brutal and took me over 1,000 tries to get through, but I got through it. And after that, it was off to Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is where the game starts to get harder, and this is where the mountain humbled me. I found the arcade machine and took on the arcade version of Celeste, which is basically another B-side but much longer. After 518 deaths, I eventually reached the summit for the Real Gamer achievement. But after back-to-back challenge maps, I was wiped. I've died thousands of times at this point, not just in the challenge maps, but in the chapter as well. That's without even going for the strawberries. I got frustrated. If I'm dying this much in Chapter 3, how am I going to complete the rest of this game? Then it dawned on me. I was never going to 100% this game. Just going through the regular chapters was hard. Never mind everything else on top of that. This wasn't going to happen. So, I walked away from the game. Then almost a year later, I came back. I wanted to see this through. I decided if I could 100% this game, I could at least beat it. This time, I was just trying to get through. And I had a much better time. I was avoiding most of the strawberries, and because of that, I knocked out Chapter 4 and 5 in one day, unlocking 2 achievements. The next day, I beat Chapter 6 for the Reflection achievement, but just because this was easier doesn't mean it was easy. Just going through the main game still caused me to die thousands of times. But every screen I cleared, I got a little bit better and brought me closer and closer to the peak. When I finally hit the peak of the mountain, it was beyond satisfying. I had accomplished something. It meant something. I left Celeste for years, until I was going through my back catalog just after 100%ing RE4, looking for my next game to complete. And then I stumbled onto Celeste. I was pumped. After all, what a great idea for another video. If I climbed the mountain, why couldn't I do the rest of it? How hard could it be? I was so naive. So I loaded up the Chapter 3 B-side and couldn't get past the 3rd room. This would take me months, if not years, to do. And then it dawned on me again. I will never 100% this game. How many people have even 100%ed this game? I wondered. So I loaded up True Achievements and saw that the average completion was only 8 to 10 hours. How could that be? It took me longer than that to even climb the mountain, never mind the rest of it. Then I remembered, assist mode. I hadn't used assist mode to beat the game, so honestly I forgot it was there. I clicked on it and got a message from the developers basically saying, don't do it. That the whole point of Celeste is that it's hard, and the satisfaction you get from clearing a difficult section is what makes the game so rewarding. But I was curious to see if this is actually how people 100%ed this game. So I clicked yes, and my save file was immediately branded with the assisted tag, which I thought was permanent at the time. I felt like it was me admitting I couldn't do this, and it kind of was, but I had already been branded for what I thought was forever, so I used assist mode. I set it so I had infinite dashes and was invincible, removing all of the challenge from the game, which basically meant I could just hurl myself through levels, and I did that. I looked up all the collectibles and just systematically worked my way through. I got all the crystal hearts, which earned me an achievement each, knocked out all the B-sides, which also netted me an achievement each, and after that went back for the C-sides, which was another achievement. The only achievement that was even remotely difficult was the one where I had to collect 6 strawberries without stopping, which honestly, I don't know how you even do without assist mode. But after about a dozen or so runs on the first level, I got it. Normally, I'd be stoked to get 18 achievements in 3 days. But the further I got, the worse I felt. All of these were meant to be individual tests of my skill and how far I've come as a player. And I cheated on almost all of them. All I had left were the strawberries, which took me another 2 days, and unlocked the Impress Your Friends achievement. After I completed the level, I loaded the cutscene where Madeline bakes the cake. And everyone basically congratulates Madeline on her job well done. All I could feel was disappointment in myself. The achievement was literally called Impress Your Friends. It's supposed to be one of those achievements you tell everybody about. And even though I had 1,000 points, even though I completed this game, I felt awful. This wasn't a victory. This wasn't an accomplishment. This wasn't an achievement. This isn't how I wanted to leave this game. So, I loaded up a new save and kept assist mode off and started to climb the mountain again. I wanted to prove to myself that I could still beat this game, even if I couldn't 100% it. I made it through the ancient city with only 13 deaths, the old site with 15, my least favorite chapter, the Celestial Resort, with only 101 deaths, the Golden Ridge with 142, but that was mostly due to the block section, the Mirror Temple with 95, Reflection with 198, and the Summit with over half of my deaths at 529, with most of those coming from the last section. That left me with 1,093 deaths and just over 5 hours of playtime. And even though they didn't like the pie, I still felt that rush of accomplishment for climbing the mountain again. I shouldn't have been able to 100% Celeste. I didn't earn it honestly. And if Matt is watching, add an achievement that bars assist mode and take it away. Or make the assist tag permanent so everyone can see who actually earned it. Not everybody can 100% this game. I know I can't. This should be like Super Meat Boy, where there are no shortcuts. Where everybody who's earned this has a badge of honor, and there are no fakers like me. The central theme of this game is that you can do this. If you work hard and pick yourself up, death after death after death, you can accomplish this. You can do hard things. That every death, you're learning and getting better, so you can accomplish what you thought was impossible. To me, achievements are the reward of seeing something through, of doing the hard thing in the game that not everybody can do. But by making them easy, they devalue them for the people who actually put in the hard work. So while this is my 43rd 100%, I take no pride in it because I didn't earn it. If you're gonna 100% Celeste, don't use assist mode. Dig down deep, fail, and fail again, because when you succeed, the feeling of satisfaction you get from doing it will be well worth the struggle. This was a bit of a different video, but I hoped you liked it. If you did, subscribe, like, and share the video. Until next time, I'm Sergeant Dutch, and I 100% games.